The vast emptiness of space stretched endlessly, broken only by the massive silhouette of the colony ship horizon. Its metallic hull reflected distant starlight, telling silent stories of a journey spanning centuries. Inside, rows of cryo chambers stood like quiet sentinels, each containing a human waiting to be awakened. Aria, the ship's artificial intelligence, monitored system functions with meticulous precision. Tiny red warning lights flickered across her main console, indicating critical failures that had been building up over generations. Something needed to change. Something needed to happen. Captain Hyun Park's cryo chamber hummed softly. Microscopic repair nanites worked around her body, checking vital signs and preparing her for awakening. Her dark hair was neatly braided, her face peaceful despite the centuries of artificial sleep. The first activation sequence began with a low, almost imperceptible vibration. Electrical currents danced through complex circuitry, triggering ancient protocols designed to preserve humanity's last hope. Hyun's fingers twitched. Her eyes moved beneath closed eyelids. A sudden burst of light flooded her chamber. Mechanical, arms gently disconnected life support systems. With a soft hiss, the transparent cover lifted, releasing a thin mist of preservation chemicals. Hyun's eyes opened, revealing a sharp intelligence that had survived centuries of hibernation. She took her first breath in what felt like an eternity. The recycled air tasted stale yet familiar. Her training kicked in immediately. Military protocols ingrained during her initial selection for the colony mission guided her first movements. "Aria," she spoke, her voice slightly raspy. "System status report." The AI's holographic interface materialized, a soft blue projection, showing multiple warning signs and degraded system performances. Years of space travel had taken their toll on the ship. "Welcome back, Captain Park," Aria responded. "Multiple critical systems require immediate attention. Cryobay integrity at 62%. Propulsion systems showing significant wear. External scanners detecting unknown galactic configurations." Hyun understood the underlying message. They were not where they were supposed to be. Something had gone dramatically wrong during their long journey. She moved carefully, her muscles remembering training protocols for post-hibernation recovery. Each step was calculated, each movement deliberate. The ship's main corridor stretched before her, lined with hundreds of identical cryo chambers. Her first task was clear: assess the situation and prepare for potential threats. The main viewing screen gradually came to life, showing a landscape of stars completely different from their original navigation charts. Unknown star systems, unfamiliar planetary configurations. Something fundamental had changed. Aria continued her report. Current location, Outer Rim, Sector 7 Delta. Estimated time since last navigational update, 347 years, 6 months, 14 days. Hyun processed the information quickly. Their original mission of colonizing a distant planet had been interrupted. Something, or someone, had redirected their journey. More cryo chambers began to activate. Soft electronic sounds filled the corridor as other crew members started their awakening process. Engineers, scientists, medical personnel, each carefully selected for their unique skills and potential to rebuild human civilization. The ship felt alive again. Dormant systems flickered to life. Computers hummed. Mechanical arms moved, running diagnostic tests and preparing living spaces. Hyun reached the ship's central command center. Holographic displays showed fragmented data streams, incomplete records, partial mission logs. Something significant had happened during their long sleep. Her training had prepared her for multiple scenarios, but this felt different. This felt like a new beginning. Outside the ship's protective shell, countless stars watched silently. Galaxies shifted. Cosmic winds carried untold stories of civilizations rising and falling. Humanity's last colony ship drifted, waiting to reveal its secrets. "Areas." Voice broke the silence. "Captain, initial scans suggest significant changes in galactic political structures. Recommendation: continued system analysis, and crew revival. Hyun Park looked out into the infinite darkness, knowing their journey was just beginning. The Horizon moved forward, carrying humanity's last hope. The ship's corridors slowly filled with awakening crew members. Each person moved with a mix of caution and excitement, their bodies remembering training protocols while their minds struggled to comprehend the massive time shift. Jae Kim, the tactical officer, was among the first to fully activate. His fingers danced across holographic displays, pulling fragmented historical records and scanning available data. The information he found was shocking. Humanity's original civilization had collapsed. Entire planetary systems had been destroyed or conquered. The galaxy looked nothing like the map stored in the ship's memory banks. A massive holographic projection showed the current galactic map. Colored regions indicated different territories, with one dominant empire covering most of the known space. The galactic monarch symbol, a complex geometric design, dominated the central regions. "Arya," Jay called out, "run a complete historical analysis of the past 3 centuries." The AI's response was immediate. Thousands of data points began to organize themselves. Images, battle records, and political shifts flickered across the AI screens. The story was brutal. Humanity had been almost completely wiped out, their colonies destroyed, their technology forgotten. Only this single ship remained, a silent witness to a complete civilization collapse. Other crew members gathered around Jay. Dr. Min Wong, the ship's chief medical officer, reviewed the population data. Her face grew more concerned with each passing moment. "We're it," she whispered. "We're the last known human survivors." The weight of that statement hung in the air. Hundreds of carefully selected colonists, scientists, engineers, military personnel represented the entire human species. Their mission was no longer about exploration. It was about survival. Jay continued digging through the records. The galactic monarch, a being named Eldrin, had systematically conquered multiple species. Entire civilizations were reduced to slave labor. Technological advancement was strictly controlled. Their preserved technology became their greatest weapon. While other species had stagnated, the humans on the horizon had unknowingly maintained advanced systems during their long sleep. The ship's engineering team, led by Soo Jin, began analyzing their equipment. Weapon systems that seemed outdated were actually far more advanced than current galactic technology. Communication modules could potentially bypass sophisticated blocking systems. "We're invisible," Soo Jin explained to the gathered crew. "Our technology is so old, it's completely different from current systems. They won't know how to defend against us." Captain Hyun Park listened carefully. Her role was to make the critical decisions. Survival was the primary objective. But survival might also mean something more, a chance to liberate other enslaved species. Arya projected potential scenarios. Each simulation showed different approaches: diplomatic engagement, strategic warfare, covert operations. The possibilities were numerous. The crew worked in shifts. Some repaired critical ship systems. Others analyzed galactic data. Medical teams ensured everyone's physical condition remained optimal after centuries of hibernation. Outside the ship, space remained unchanged, silent, waiting. Jay's final report was both terrifying and hopeful. The galactic monarch controlled thousands of star systems. But their control was based on fear and technological suppression. Humanity represented an unknown variable. "We're not just survivors," Jay told Captain Park. "We're a potential revolution." The ship's energy levels increased. Dormant systems came to life. Weapons calibrated themselves. Communication arrays prepared for potential contact. Humanity had returned. And nothing would be the same again. In the vast darkness of space, the horizon moved silently, a beacon of hope, a potential spark of resistance. The last human colony ship continued its journey, carrying the dreams of an entire civilization. The ship's workshops buzzed with intense activity. Soo Jin worked tirelessly, her hands moving rapidly across advanced modification stations. Weapon systems that had been dormant for centuries now hummed with new potential. Each modification was carefully planned. The crew understood they weren't just preparing for a battle. They were preparing for survival. Their technology was unique, preserved, untouched by the current galactic systems. Area projected potential scenarios on holographic displays. Tactical simulations showed multiple strategies. Some were aggressive, some were subtle. All were designed to maximize their chances of survival. Captain Hyun Park watched the preparations with a calm determination. She knew their greatest weapon wasn't their technology. It was their unpredictability. The ship's communication team began intercepting galactic transmissions. They discovered a complex network of controlled communication channels. The Galactic Monarch had created a system where information was tightly controlled. Jae Kim developed a breakthrough communication strategy. They would create communication modules that could slip through existing network barriers. Small data packages that looked like background noise but carried critical information. Dr. Min Wong worked on medical preparations. Their preserved medical technology was centuries ahead of current galactic standards. She developed nano-treatment, protocols that could potentially heal injuries considered impossible by current medical systems. Engineering teams worked on ship modifications. External panels were redesigned to reduce radar signatures. Propulsion systems were recalibrated for maximum stealth and speed. Every system was upgraded with a singular purpose: survival and potential resistance. The crew's training kicked into high gear. Simulation rooms ran constant battle scenarios. Each crew member practiced multiple roles. They understood that flexibility would be their greatest strength. Weapons development became a critical focus. Soo-jin discovered that their existing weapon systems could be modified to work against multiple alien technologies: energy dispersal methods, frequency disruption techniques, micro-invasion protocols. "We're not just preparing to fight," Soo-jin explained during a team meeting. "We're preparing to survive." Area continued running complex calculations. The AI analyzed thousands of potential scenarios every minute. Each calculation refined their strategy. Each simulation improved their chances. Communication interceptors began mapping the Galactic Monarch's communication networks. They discovered weakness points, areas where information control was less strict, potential points of infiltration. The crew worked in perfect synchronization. Their centuries of careful selection showed in every movement. Every action was precise, every decision calculated. Jae's tactical team developed multiple invasion strategies. Not traditional military invasions, but information invasions. Ways to destabilize the existing power structures without direct confrontation. Medical teams prepared biological adaptation protocols. Their preserved genetic technologies could potentially help them survive in multiple environmental conditions. Something most current galactic species couldn't do. Captain Hyun Park's leadership became crucial. She balanced aggression with caution, strategic thinking with emotional intelligence. Her decisions would determine their survival. Slowly, a plan began to take shape. They weren't just preparing to fight, they were preparing to liberate. The ship's energy levels increased. Dormant systems came alive, weapons calibrated themselves. Communication arrays prepared for potential contact. Outside, space remained silent, watching, waiting. Humanity's last colony ship continued its careful preparation, a potential spark of resistance, a silent promise of liberation. Every system, every crew member, every piece of technology worked towards a single goal: survival, resistance, hope. The horizon moved like a ghost through uncharted space. Jae Kim's tactical team had identified a critical communication hub controlled by the Galactic Monarch. Their first strike would be surgical, precise. Target acquired. Area's voice was calm. Holographic displays showed a massive orbital station, surrounded by defensive networks. Thousands of alien ships patrolled the perimeter, but they hadn't seen anything like humans before. Captain Hyun Park studied the strategic map. Her fingers traced potential approach vectors. Years of training crystallized into this moment. Humanity's first resistance would be remembered. The ship's stealth systems were remarkable. Technologies preserved for centuries now showed their true potential. Electromagnetic signatures became invisible. Sensor deflection modules created perfect camouflage as Sujin had prepared special electromagnetic pulse weapons. They weren't designed to destroy. They were designed to confuse, to create maximum disruption with minimal direct combat. First, they would attack the communication systems. Cut off information. Create chaos. The orbital station looked impenetrable. Massive defense platforms, multi-layered shield systems, thousands of automated defense drones. But the humans had something unexpected, complete technological surprise. Jay's fingers moved across tactical displays. Precision calculations happened in milliseconds. Each movement was planned. Each action calculated to create maximum confusion. The first pulse hit silently. No explosion, no visible damage. Just a sudden, complete communication blackout. Defense systems went crazy. Alien crews ran emergency protocols. Confusion spread like a virus through their command structures. Communication networks disrupted. Area reported. Estimated system failure, 87% across primary network. The humans watched carefully. Their first strike was not about destruction. It was about demonstrating their capability, showing that they were an unknown variable in the galactic power structure. Secondary pulses followed. Targeting navigation, systems, creating phantom signals, redirecting automated defense protocols. The orbital station became a scene of complete chaos. Alien crews ran between emergency stations. Command structures collapsed. Information became unreliable. Target neutralized, Jay said quietly. No direct casualties. Maximum disruption achieved. Dr. Min Wong monitored biological data streams. Their strike had created psychological warfare. Fear would spread faster than any physical damage. Area continued analyzing the results. Each moment provided new tactical information. The Galactic Monarch's systems were more vulnerable than anyone had imagined. Captain Hyun understood the larger strategy. This wasn't just about a single strike. This was about sending a message. Humanity had returned, and they were different. The horizon moved away silently. No fanfare, no celebration, just cold, calculated precision. Alien communication networks would take weeks to fully recover. By then, humanity would be preparing their next move. Their technology was different. Their approach was unexpected. Their potential was unlimited. The first strike was complete. A silent declaration of resistance. Humanity had awakened. And the galaxy would never be the same. Area's final report scrolled quietly across the tactical screens. Statistical probabilities, potential responses, future scenarios. But one thing was certain. The Galactic Monarch now knew they were not alone. The final battle began without warning. The horizon emerged from a complex quantum jump, appearing directly in the central command zone of the Galactic Monarch's primary star system. J. Kim's tactical calculations had been perfect. Their approach was mathematically impossible. No known technology could have achieved such a precise jump. Captain Hyun Park stood on the bridge, her eyes focused on the holographic displays. Thousands of alien defense ships surrounded them. But something was different this time. The humans weren't afraid. Broadcast activation, she commanded. Area's communication systems came alive. A single transmission began broadcasting across all known frequency channels. The message was simple, direct. We are humanity. We have returned. The Galactic Monarch's primary command ship detected their presence. Massive weapon systems powered up. Defensive shields activated. But something was wrong. Su Jin had spent months developing specialized electromagnetic disruption technologies. Their weapons weren't designed to destroy. They were designed to create total systemic chaos. The first wave of attacks came silently. No explosions, no traditional weapon signatures, just complete technological paralysis. Alien defense systems began failing. Navigation controls collapsed. Communication networks went dark. Weapon systems became unresponsive. Jay's tactical team had mapped every possible defense protocol. They knew exactly where to strike, exactly how to create maximum disruption with minimum direct conflict. Dr. Min Wong monitored biological response systems. Their approach was creating something unexpected: total psychological breakdown among the alien command structures. The horizon moved like a ghost. Precise, calculated, each movement designed to create maximum confusion. Alien ships began colliding. Defense platforms turned against each other. Command structures dissolved into complete panic. Primary objective achieved, area reported. Systemic collapse at 94% efficiency. Captain Hyun understood the larger strategy. This wasn't about destruction. This was about liberation. Transmission channels began opening. Enslaved species across multiple star systems detected the breakdown of the Galactic Monarch's control systems, small resistance groups, forgotten civilizations. Species that had been suppressed for generations suddenly found their communication channels open. The horizon became a beacon, a signal of hope. Jay's final tactical calculation showed something remarkable. They hadn't just defeated a single empire. They had created a power vacuum that would reshape galactic civilization. The Galactic Monarch's central command collapsed within hours, not through direct military conflict, but through complete technological and psychological disruption. Transmission complete, Arya announced. Estimated system recovery minimal. Captain Hyun watched the holographic displays. Alien communication networks showed complete chaos. Defense systems were in total collapse. Something extraordinary had happened. Humanity had returned, and they had changed everything. Dr. Min Wong's medical scan showed something unexpected. The psychological impact of their approach was creating a wave of liberation across multiple star systems. Enslaved species began detecting weakness in their oppressors. Communication channels that had been suppressed for generations suddenly opened. The horizon moved silently. No celebration, no dramatic victory speeches, just cold, calculated precision. They had done what no one thought possible: liberated an entire galactic civilization without massive destruction. Aria's final report was simple, mathematical, precise: galactic power structures, collapsed potential for new civilization, high humanity's role. Catalyst Captain Hyun Park looked out into the infinite darkness. Their journey was just beginning. The last human colony ship had become something more. A beacon of hope. A catalyst for change. Humanity had awakened. And nothing would ever be the same again.